He's great. Make it loud right now for Randall Donovan, everybody.
Thank you. This is my impression of an atheist having an orgasm. An atheist having an orgasm. Oh my. This is my impression of an agnostic having an orgasm. Whatever. This is my impression of a Gen Z having an orgasm. Free Palestine. This is my impression of Greta Thunberg having an orgasm. I'm just kidding, she doesn't have an orgasm. I checked. Okay. Actually, I am dating a Gen Z. Jennifer Zimmerman. Nice girl. Very popular. She's like that avocado toast of the town. She's a little bit mad at me. She caught me in bed with a hologram. I said, honey, it's not what it looks like. We met on a Zoom date. She was not even remotely attractive. Okay, a little Zoom humor. I'm actually, Randall Donovan. It's not my name, it's a stage name, because show business. Randall Donovan, yeah, it's better than my last stage name, which was the Latino King of Comedy. But people weren't buying it. Actually, I was on Oprah twice. You may recognize me from, the third time she said, will you get off of me? It was embarrassing. So like a lot of people you've seen tonight, I'm Jewish. Not proud of it, not ashamed of it. I'm just here kind of dealing with, it's not popular being Jewish nowadays. But the truth of the matter, it hasn't been popular since like the year 33. Some shit went down, not good. And I always felt that Christianity was kind of like a cover band that got more famous than the originals. We laid down the basic tracks and they just added some extra lyrics and backing vocals. And now their numbers are much bigger than ours. But we got even with them because we murdered their lead singer. So, fair is fair. These things all work out in the ebb and flow of history. But I was always jealous of the Gentile kids growing up. They're always walking around with these perfect sounding names like Morgan Chase and Chase Morgan. Could be a boy's name, could be a girl's name, could be the name of a bank. Didn't matter because their lives were always perfect. Whereas when you have a name like Hesh Rosenfeld, you know what that means. It means you actually have to study to get into law school. And the rabbis at my Hebrew school were really strict. They wouldn't let us listen to hip hop. But that's because it hadn't been invented yet. So, I'll cut them some slack. And later on in life, I actually joined a Orthodox Jewish fraternity. Let me tell you something, man. We would party 24/6. Man, Yossi and Isaac, man, those cats could... Man, we would party like it was 5749. That's the Hebrew calendar. Who I feel bad for is Prince Andrew. There's a guy born with all the privilege in the world, probably could have had any woman he wanted, and he ends up in this ridiculous, embarrassing scandal. And he gets stripped of all his royal and military titles. You don't even have to call him Your Majesty anymore. You can just go, aye! And he has to answer. That's got to be humiliating. And what's the worst part is his own brother can't get him off the hook. His own brother, the king. We're in trouble, when your own brother throws you under the coach. Humiliating. Who I've actually gained a bit of respect for is Jeffrey Epstein. Hear me out. Here's a guy who bought his own private island on a math teacher's salary. That's some heavy-duty number crunching. Remember when monkeypox was just another Ben & Jerry's flavor? Remember when Mar-a-Lago was something you spread on a bagel? Remember when Instagram was something your Coke dealer would provide? Remember when a pedophile was just some dude on a bike? Remember when a safe space was where you kept your girly magazines? Girly magazine, that dates me. Remember when Gitmo was what you did when you ran out of cigarettes? Remember when Al Jazeera was that Turkish guy that sold lottery tickets? Good old Al. Remember when Queers for Palestine called themselves Lesbola? Oh man, those were the days. Remember when Whole Foods were bagels and Cheerios? Whole Foods, all right, that's a bit much. Remember when trans fat was, I better not tell that joke. Thanks.